All right, let's get at the pressing question facing the markets right now. And well, it's been the pressing question that's faced the markets for several months. Just how long are the long and variable lags of Federal Reserve policy? Finance can be made to seem really complicated, but most of it is just basic math. The truly complicated part is the human component. We humans, we differ from computers. You can give us the same inputs and we'll give you different outputs. So it's virtually impossible to precisely know what the consumer and the investor are going to do in any circumstance. With that caveat, let's peel back the curtain on how our team at Williams Wealth Management makes investment decisions. It begins and ends with corporate profits. We're looking for companies to make lots of dough and are constantly growing those earnings. Then you have to compare the price you have to pay for those companies with the price of other companies. Nothing is absolute. Everything is relative. The final determinant is more macro-based. What's happening in the overall economy? Is money being pushed into the system or sucked out of the system? More money coming in should ultimately translate to greater sales and profits for companies. Less money means less sales and profits. Yeah, it's just common sense. One of the biggest drivers of the supply of money in the system is credit. The more households and businesses borrow, the more money in circulation. When interest rates rise, as they've done over the last 18 months, you have less desire to want to borrow money. Thus, less money is created and pushed into the system. Naturally, higher rates should slow down the economy in time. But in what amount of time is the question of hand? Yes, in what amount of time is the question at hand? By now, many economists thought the Federal Reserve would be getting what it wants from its aggressive rate hikes. But something funny has happened this go-around. Households and businesses took advantage of super low rates to refinance their debt. They fixed their costs for several years out. So the long and variable lags that economists talk about may turn out to be much longer than usual this go-round. That's a big reason the Fed is forecasting higher rates for longer. The economy is not cooling as they expected, and they don't want a premature reacceleration that might reignite inflation. So back to our investment analysis. If rates are expected to stay higher for longer, those higher rates need to be factored in. From an earnings perspective, higher rates may preclude some companies from borrowing, which could dampen future earnings and future growth. From an investment perspective, higher interest rates deliver higher bond yields, and that makes more volatile stocks less attractive. Economies and markets are dynamic. They're ever-changing, and thus our thinking has to be flexible enough to move with the changing environment. So when will the long and variable lags fully hit this economy? Who knows? But like a lot of things in life, it can take longer than you expect.